Hi there everybody, it's Rosie here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today for another card making video, and today we're using the Around the Bend stamp set and the coordinating dies. So got this nice corner, some great sentiments as well, and just love all these little curves we've got in there. The dies themselves, you know, sort of match those curves, so we can do a stamped and die cut sort of layering. But we've also got some lovely floral elements and these cute leaves. So these three leaves here are the dies I'm actually using in today's card. Okay, so that's Around the Bend and Around the Bend dies. These were a carryover. So this is the card we're making. So as you can see, we've got that corner forming the square in the centre there, and we've just embellished with those die cuts. And this happens to be a completely monochromatic card. So this uses copper clay. There's a copper clay card base, and all the ink that I've used has all been done in copper clay, and I've coloured the rhinestones as well using the copper clay Stampin' Blend, the alcohol marker. Okay, so that's another really great way to expand your stash. You can colour the clear rhinestones. We can colour with our alcohol products, so that's really good. You can also do that with the pearls as well, so don't forget to do that. Okay, so let's get cracking then. So I'm going to go with a green colourway, and we're going to use Shaded Spruce as our card base. I've got a piece of basic white here. This is 4 by 5 3/4, so what I would call a full card layer. So to cover the front there, just to have that border of the Shaded Spruce going around. And then this is a 3-inch square that we're going to do the stamping on. Okay, so I think the first thing we're going to do is get this panel embossed. I'm going to use a different embossing folder. This one is the quatrefoil. That's one of the larger ones, the 6 by 6 embossing folders. It's a regular embossing folder, not a 3D one. I thought 3D ones might make it a bit more bulky. Totally your call though. I mean, if you want to try it with a 3D one, that's fine. But I wanted something a little flatter, but giving it texture, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So the other one that's in my stash that I thought would go is this one, which is the Countryside Blooms. I don't know whether it's best to show you with that. Okay, so this one does have a direction though, so you just want to be mindful when you're sticking it down onto your project that you've got it the right way up. And I'm just taking a moment. This design does have some symmetry to it, so I'm just taking a moment just to make sure that's lined up in there nice and straight. And then we're going to put that through our cut and emboss machine. So remember, our base plate gives us all our instructions, and we're just going to do some regular embossing. So we just need the base plate and 2 cutting plates, so we don't need the number 2 plate, we just use this for the die cutting, so we'll just leave that out. Cutting plate 1, cutting plate 2 on top, and we'll roll that through. So you shouldn't feel an excessive amount of resistance, but you should feel like it's doing something, if you know what I mean. So just reassemble my die cut machine with its plates, so it's ready to go for next time. Okay, and then we can just lift that out, and there's our embossed background, the debossing on the background, on the back, on the reverse. So there we go, that's all nice and embossed, so that's ready for some ink in a bit. And then we've got this stamping to do as well. I'm going to pop those out of the way there for a moment. I'm going to bring in some good some grid paper. I use my grid paper until it's gotten to a point where it's either distracting or whatever. So I just keep using it and keep using it and keep using it. So I've brought in the coordinating shaded spruce ink here. I thought I'd got some. I need a scrap here as well. This is going to be my sentiment, so I'd already done it on the other one. So I thought that scrap's going to be big enough to do my other one as well. So we'll get our sentiment stamped on there. Just making sure that's nice and well inked. My shaded spruce ink pad gets a lot of use, so just making sure that that's nice and well inked. And pop that there. Beautiful. And then with this corner stamp, again we want to make sure it's nice and well inked, and you can see that beautifully through the block. Another one of my favourite blocks. If you caught my video at the weekend, I was talking about my favourite blocks, and this is one of them. This is this is the D block. So I'm just going to hover over this piece of cardstock. It's going to be hard for you to see on camera, but I'm just hovering over it, just seeing that I've got that going down where I want it. Not too close to the edge, but close enough. And because I wasn't paying attention, I let that corner touch, but we'll be stamping over that, so I'm not going to worry about it. So don't make my mistake. So I was inking it up like this, and the block has wobbled and touched the ink pad here. Okay, so let's just get that wiped away anyway, just in case. And I'm just going to ink it with that off the edge so that it's a bit more, it's flatter onto the ink pad, if you know what I mean. It doesn't have room to wobble. So we're going to twizzle that round, and we're going to stamp this one down in the opposite corner, like so. So of course, if you were using a larger piece of cardstock, you might be able to get all four and do a much larger square. If you're somebody who does sort of, so you could go that way. In fact, let's have a play. Let's just do it. Let's move this stuff out of the way. So this was, I'm just going to pick a line to go with. Just quickly. I'm not going to do a masterpiece or anything, but you could, if you were doing a larger project, stamp around something like that. So this isn't obviously going to be perfect because I'm just showing you quickly, but you could end up with a really nice sort of square motif like that as well for a larger card. That's probably going to end up about 6 inches. Oh no, about. So that roughly stamped, if we cut around it, you're probably looking at about 4.5 inches actually, because obviously you've got it, yeah, there. So yeah, 4.5 inch-ish square. So there you go. So you can do that too if you wanted to make something bigger. Watch this space, you may see something along those lines. That literally came to me as I was doing the talking to you. So there you go. Right, I'm going to pop away the shaded spruce and just bring back the stamped bits and pieces. So we're going to use the 1 3/4 inch punch to stamp out, punch out the sentiment, I should say. And then we're going to do our inking with Parakeet Party. So it's a lighter shade, but I thought it might add just a little something. But before I do that, I'm just going to whiz around the edges of this with the shaded spruce Stampin' Blend. Just taking off that white edge there. And it's surprising really how much that makes a difference to the way that element will pop off the card. So just going around there, and it just sort of gives it that little bit of a edge to it. Parakeet Party, nice bright green. No extra inks going on this. I want this to stay bright white, but I wanted to put something around the edges of this just to take away the stark white. So I'm just going to go circular motions over those corners with the stamping on them. Okay, start gentle, and if you want more, add more. Okay, so with this, again, I don't want loads, taking off a lot of the ink onto the scrap paper. And we're just going to go really gently around the very edge of the card, and then come back in a little further towards the centre. Because I don't want it to overpower. But obviously we've taken off a lot more of the ink by doing around the edge first. And then we can intensify the spots that we want just on those very corners, as much as you wish. Okay, but I want to keep this nice and light. Okay, so let's do some assembling. Because we've got texture going on, we're going to use the multi-purpose glue. I've used a lot of multi-purpose glue recently. It's not generally my go-to adhesive. It's just so happens the projects I've been doing have lended themselves to using that. But you want to give that a nice firm pressure, because obviously it doesn't stick, like it will move around a little bit until it's completely dry, so you just want to bear that in mind when you're using that. And just because it's out, we might as well just carry on using the glue. It is better for textured surfaces. So we're going to pop this on, and again I'm just eyeballing that so that it looks even on both sides, because it will really stand out if it isn't. And then we've got our bright white sentiments on this circle. So I'm actually going to use 3 dimensionals just in a sort of nice little triangle in there to give it a broader base but not too close to the edges, so that we can slot in our little leaves. And again, just a dab of glue is going to just help us with the making sure that that is straight and positioned where we want it to be. Like so. So we've got wiggle room now to do what we need to with this. And then again, we're going to come in with our little teeny tiny leaves that we've already die cut. And then again, I'm not going to add any ink to these. So just some dabs of glue just to slot these in and kind of embellish the sort of stamped leaves, if you like. And there, they're almost like a continuation, but they're going beyond this sort of square and just sort of, you know, giving it a bit more life. So I'm just going to probably just use a dab of glue on each of those little leaves there. if you're a tweezer person, this could be a good opportunity to use those. So again, your glue is just going to give you just those final moments just to be able to press everything into place and make sure it's where you want it. And just to finish, we'll have some coordinated rhinestones by using the Stampin' Blend marker to colour those rhinestones. It will be a more dilute colour, so I'm not going for the Parakeet Party because I don't think it would show very well. Okay, so, and those of you who watch regularly know I like to use these as a trio, so we're just popping those on there. Okay, and then we can add our rhinestones. Okay, so we can pop those in. Big one, little one, and a medium one. Oops. Et voila. So there we go. That's our green version. Okay, and our original in copper clay. I hope you've enjoyed that. Of course, all the products will be linked in the description below if you wanted to take a closer look at anything. Okay, but I hope you enjoyed that. It's given you some more ideas on using the round the bend stamp set and coordinating dies. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.